me? Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus?
Welcome back to my channel. For those who do not know me, my name is Shay, and today we are doing a little car talk and slash Q&A because I asked y'all to ask me questions on Instagram, and y'all definitely did serve me with a good 13 questions. So we're about to get right into this video, and right now I'm in my car because I feel like my car is definitely one of my safe spaces. And on top of that, I'm sitting by the water, which is very peaceful and more my vibe. So let's get right into the video. Yeah, let's get right into the video. This is probably gonna be raw and uncut because I mean, why not? Yes. So the first question is, what are you doing to stay happy and consistent to continue to level up? For one, what I can say is just doing things that make me happy, doing things that I love to do, even if it looks like me right now sitting by the water. That's something that I love to do. That's something that makes me happy. Pouring into myself, self-care, self-love, just focusing on my goals, not worrying about what anybody else is doing in their life, focus on my path, focus on what I want to obtain for myself and how I see myself and how I want to hold myself up to a standard in that way. And also just loving the process, because when you're leveling up and trying to become a better person, you literally have to love the process, no matter if it's ugly, if it's bad, if it's the greatest thing of life. You always have to cherish every single moment of it, because it's you evolving, it's you growing, and you could always what's the word that I'm looking for? You could always be greater than what you were yesterday. That's exactly what I would say. What is your favorite thing to do on a relaxing day? I literally just said it. I'm sitting by the water. I'm about to read my book after I'm done recording this. Journal a little bit. Face mask. Eating the foods that I want to eat. And stuff like that. Just really doing things that make me happy. And I'm content with those things. And also, if I get a day to actually really, really relax, I will sleep. Because a girl loves her sleep, okay? And that's something I barely get. So, yeah. The next question is recommended books to read. For one of my favorite books I would say is Women Evolve by Sarah Jakes Roberts. It's not just a book. To me, that book is transformational. It asks you hard questions. You do deeper healing, deeper meanings into things. You get into like the nitty-gritty of stuff. It literally asks you hard questions, and you have to be okay with answering those hard questions. Another book is Atomic Habits. I really love that book as well. It teaches you how to go about things in life while still doing other things. So how to incorporate other things into your life while you still focus on this one little thing. And that's actually a great book as well. And right now, and also I am reading a devotional book. It's called Women That Are Loosed. It's a devotional book, 90-day devotional. And I feel like if you want to get closer to God, and if you really want to start committing and doing healing in Christ-like way, the way I could say it, that's how I would say it. It's very good to you realize a lot of things that you are doing that you can become greater and better. And the book I'm reading right now is by Sarah Jakes Roberts. It is All Hope Is Found. And what I can say is, from just reading 2 chapters out of it, it's probably one of the most heartfelt books, because when you are yearning for something to be better, to hope for the best, and not really depend on not pay attention to your doubts, pay attention to what you don't believe, or like when you believe in something and you don't believe in something, that's what it teaches you, to really always have faith and always believe in the stuff that you want for yourself. And also as well, it has questions that you have to answer at the end of each chapter. For 1 and 2 chapters, it was 3 questions. I'm not sure if it's like that in the whole book, but it's a very short book compared to Woman Evolve. But I would say those are my recommendation books as of right now. I am just starting to read. This year I took reading very seriously to gain knowledge, to just start learning more and being open-minded to many things in this world, but not getting too caught up into this world, as I can say. But I'm hoping to grow my book collection more and more so that I can give you guys more recommendations on what books to read. And yeah, I will post any books that I feel like is the best thing I've read or great things that I've read. I will start posting them on my stories so that you guys can see the books that I am currently reading or what I've read and my recommendation on it, 1 out of 10 or something like that. And the next question is, what made you start YouTube? Truthfully, I feel like it was just a do it type of thing, not really just looking for an outcome on it. It was just a do it type of thing. And then once I got deeper into what really made me start it, was just me wanting to see my journey, me wanting to see how much growth that I'm going through, me wanting to see the evolvement in my life, because I'm a woman who doesn't really document things in her life. I don't really take videos or anything of that sort. So with me making my YouTube channel, it's me actually seeing my growth. Like, wow, this is where I was a month ago, this is where I was last week, because I feel like every day I'm growing and I'm evolving and I'm getting better and better. So that's really why I made a YouTube. It's just for me to document my journey. And even then, if God is telling me be public about it, which is that's something that he is telling me to do, I have to be public about it and I have to be obedient to him. So yeah, that is why I started YouTube. What are your tips for anyone trying to get closer to God? So this question, the way I would answer it is, you have to be ready to take those steps to walk with God, or try to get closer to God. You have to take those steps. You have to be your heart posture has to be in the right place to start your walk with Christ. Also, what I would say is fasting. That is probably the greatest things that I did that helped me get closer to God, was fasting. Even if that looks like a month of me off of social media, a month of me eating from certain type of hours of the day. If that looks like me praying 3, 4, 5 times a day, I would do it, because that's how you get closer to God. And also, God is good. God is great. And you have to always have faith and believe that this step that you're taking, that he will guide you into the greatest places of your life. Because if you really don't believe that and you're trying to get closer to God, your relationship with God is never going to grow. I feel like you have to grow your own relationship with God. Yes, you can go to church. Yes, you can go to Bible study every Wednesday, but you have to have your own personal relationship with God as well. And also, I'm not saying that you can't go to church or Bible study. That is a plus to your, to you getting closer to God. So I would say, even then, you can start off with just going to church on Sundays. If that's how you want to start your relationship, then go ahead and start your walk with him by just going to church every Sunday, and try to pray every morning, every night. It may be hard, but when you're trying to change your lifestyle, you have to break out of old habits. You have to break out of things that once were in your life. You have to just die to self. Literally, that's really what you got to do. You got to die to self, and you have to become a person that God sees you like. Is there everything else that I got for that one? Also, I would just say is take your time. Don't rush. It takes time. You're never going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect in this world. God is always next to you. God is always with you. You are always going to be covered by God. If you're trying to grow your relationship with him, he's always going to be with you. He never faults you for anything in your life that you do. He doesn't forsake you. None of that. He's just there and he's guiding you. And it's okay to make mistakes because we're not perfect once again. Yeah. The next one is another one. How has your walk with Christ been? From what I can say, my walk with Christ hasn't been the easiest. But what I can say is I am grateful for it and I'm happy that I took this step to walk with Christ because it's probably one of the best things I did for my life. Breaking out of old habits, dying to self, rejecting my flesh, just becoming a woman of who I see myself as, of growing up. Yes, I'm young, but I feel like for me in this state, in this moment in time, God called me to him, and that's for me to grow. That's for me to evolve. That's for me to start getting it. That's for me to start taking those steps into being great at the age that I am, because I am still young, but I feel like God called me at this age so that I don't have to do the work while I'm older. And yeah, I've always had like a relationship with Christ as well. I do want to put this in there. I always had a relationship with Christ, but when I got a little bit older, we stopped going to church. But it's never like I didn't know who God was. I would pray, but I wouldn't pray every single day. And I know that I'm always covered by him, but it wasn't really a thing for me to walk with Christ and become Christ-like. And it's never easy. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. But I'm getting there and I'm working on it. And I'm just happy to be in the position that I am in my life right now and in this moment. So, yeah, it's not easy, but I love it and I'm happy. So, yes. What are 3 goals that you have for yourself for the rest of the year? Number 1 is consistency. I just want to be consistent with everything that I do. And y'all, I'm sorry if y'all hear these loud cars coming around, interrupting me, being rude. But like I said, I am outside. I'm in my car and I'm by the water. So, you know, a lot of people come through here. But as I was saying, one of them would be consistency, just to be consistent with everything that I do in my life. Be really, really on myself with the vision that I see myself as. See myself as the woman that I see myself. Just start doing the things that I vision for myself, and that looks like being consistent. That looks like following my dreams, following my goals. Another goal is to just keep God in my life heavily, because without him, I am nothing. Without him, I don't know where my success is going. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm headed. So just keeping my faith in him and believing that everything that I do is going to work out for his good. Not my good, but for his good. And number 3, the third goal is just literally, like I said in the beginning, love the process. Sometimes I'm very, very hard on myself. And if I accomplish a goal, I'm just like, okay, cool, I accomplished a goal. And I don't give myself enough credit or recognition for doing it. So literally love the process and celebrate myself. Those are I could put those both together, because loving the process is celebrating yourself, celebrating your success, even if it's small, even if it's little. That's exactly what I want to do. I just want to celebrate and just be happy for everything that I've overcame, everything that is just in my life right now in this moment. Be happy with it. the next question is, what goals do you have for your personal / career life? The goals I have for myself is really just to give it my all and stop playing with the potential that I know that I have for myself. Like I said, love myself through the process, because although that I'm changing these things about myself, I still have to love myself in the process of doing it, and I have to really be content with the things that I'm doing and just focus on my path, not worry about nobody. Like I said before, this might be a little bit repetitive, but literally just focus on myself and just worry about the things that I want to do in my life. And once again, consistency, discipline, just give myself wisdom through it all, give myself grace through it all, and just be thankful for it, because what I'm doing now is setting me up for a lifetime, basically. And I want to do it at a younger age. Not saying that it's a bad thing to do it while you're older, but I feel like I'm just doing these things now to set myself up for greatness as I'm older, in my 30s, in my 40s, in my 50s, because I'm never going to stop growing. But right now, since I'm getting rid of the toxic habits, since I'm getting rid of the unhealthy habits, since I'm getting rid of the unhappy habits that I have within myself as well, is probably one of the greatest things. Because listen, I'm just a girl, literally just a girl trying to find her way in this world that's not seeking the world's validation. So it's really just putting my best foot forward and being where my feet are, and just loving the process of that goal, of these goals that I have set for myself. Yeah. And y'all, I'm really trying to stop saying so and like, because I know I say it so much in my videos, and I've definitely noticed it. So I will be working on that as well. Y'all just gotta bear with me, because I'm new to this. I'm still trying to get myself together and learn and grow, obviously. So yeah, and I did it again, but just bear with me, please. Bear with me. I'm going to get it right. The next question is, at what point in your life did you feel like it was necessary for change in the inner work? That question hits very hard, because I feel like I was never ready for the change. I was never ready to do the inner work. But when you go through trials and tribulations in life, when you're unhappy in life, when you don't know your worth or value in who you are, I'm not going to say in the world, but in who you are, then that's when I started taking those steps into becoming greater, into becoming happier within myself after I went through a breakup. Yes, I'm young, but I went through a breakup. I got my heart broken. And once again, God calls on those who are brokenhearted. And at that time, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was headed. But what I did know was God called on me, and that's when He started doing the change in me. I had no say, no nothing. It just happened. And that's when I started doing the change in the inner work, when God called on me. And I'm grateful for it, because I'm here, and this is who I am now, and I am still learning myself. I'm still loving myself. I do love myself, but I'm still doing those things to even love myself even 10 times harder as I love myself now. And it's not easy to change or do the inner work. It takes a lot. You lose friends, you lose sleep sometimes, you are doubting yourself, you are thinking if you should back out of doing the things that you are doing right now to go back to your old life or go back to those old habits. But it's literally all about breaking those habits, breaking the generations, and just becoming the person that you want to become. and I can't express it enough, is just to be unique and be authentic to yourself and do the things that make you happy. Do the things that you want to do in your life. Do the things that makes you happy. Yeah, just do those things, and you'll realize once you start doing those things in your life, that's when you start to grow. That's when you start to learn yourself. That's when you start to see the change. That's when your heart starts to unfold and purify. That's when your spiritual relationship starts to grow as well. Well, if you want to do that work in that way. But yeah, I feel like that's mainly what it is. How many transitional phases do you feel were most impactful to your life now? The transitional phase, I would just say it was my spiritual. I got more spiritual and I got more serious with God. And once I did that, it was like, okay, life started getting better. When I stopped putting other people first before me as well, that's when it started to grow my life. When I saw growth in my life, sorry. But yeah, it's just you have to know when you want to change. You have to know the things that are most impactful to you, because like I said, everybody's not the same. Everybody's growing process is different. Everybody's mindset is different. The way people think is different. But once you're ready to take on those steps to break those generational curses and not be like what you were taught to be, and realizing that you don't want to be like that when you grow up, that's when you really see that it's most impactful to you. Like, okay, I want to take this change in this way in my life. I want to take this change in this way in my life. And I feel like that's really what was most impactful in my spiritual life. And once I started getting closer to God, that's when I started realizing, like, I don't want to be like this person in my family. I don't want to be like this in a friend. I don't want to be like this in all multiple types of ways. So that's what I would really say. What was most impactful to me was my spiritual. And once I got my spiritual awakening, that's when I started realizing all the things that I didn't want to be like in my life. And that's when I chose to change it. And once I chose to change it, that's where I'm here right now, this moment, this instant. And let's see, I think I got a couple more questions. What are some of your passions? This question, I feel like it's a hard question for me, but maybe I'm just overthinking it. But I feel like one of my passions is just to be free, to be happy, to be whole, to be healed, to just live in God's presence and be a child of God, and just, like I said, just love the process through it all. I love making people feel loved, making people feel like they are wanted, they are needed. Because in this world, what we do lack is love. What we do lack is the need of feeling wanted. Even with friendships, in friendships, I could say, because, I mean, yeah. But just making people feel good about themselves. And always speak life into people. That's probably one of my passions, is to really, really, really speak life into people, because it's hard to get out of those negative thoughts. Not saying that I don't have them, but once I start thinking negatively about myself, I'm gonna shut it down, because that's something that was in my old life, and that's not what I want to look at my new life as. So it's literally speaking life into people. I just love doing that. That is a passion of mine, speaking life into people, loving on people, being happy, being free, being whole. Those are my passions. And just to, yeah, like I said, make people feel good, because in this world, that's what we lack. A lot of people are very bitter, and mean, and we don't need those people in life. And I was one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. I was always bitter. I was mean. And yeah, I just had to change that about myself, because I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And I know I lack in places still, and I'm working on it. It's very hard when you are trying to unlearn habits that have been instilled in you. So like I said, I'm not perfect, but I'm still working on. Okay, y'all, the camera cut off, but I don't remember where I left off. Oh, my passions. Yeah, I feel like I finished that question, but for the most part, it's just love on people who love on you. And on top of that, just show love, because you never know what a person is going through. Always be pure, always have great intentions. Yeah, just me being authentic and me being myself. I would say those are my passions, because I feel like for a long time I was trying to be like somebody I wasn't, and it wasn't great to me. It wasn't great. It wasn't fulfilling to my soul. It wasn't doing me no justice. But I feel like I was just moving backwards in my life more and more, and it's just, who wants that? Nobody wants that. So yeah. What are 5 things you want to scratch off your bucket list? Truthfully speaking, I don't have 5 things on my bucket list. And that sounds bad. And maybe I might be a little boring, but I'm not going to say it's boring, because one of my biggest things on my bucket list is just to travel the world. And when I'm speaking it into existence, I'm going to manifest it. I know that's right, Shay. When I start traveling the world, I feel like I can start scratching off things that I want to do, because I'm in different countries and I'm exploring different countries, and I wouldn't even realize that it's on my bucket list, but it's on my bucket list. Like, maybe if I go to a country and they do a certain type of thing, and I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to do that. That's me scratching stuff off the bucket list, and I didn't even know that was on my bucket list. So yeah, I feel like that's the thing. And I don't have anything on my bucket list but to just travel the world and be happy. Like, genuinely happy, like inside and out, so that it radiates to everybody. And a bitter person will be so mad that I'm so happy. Maybe that was rude that I said that. Should I take that back? No, I'm not going to take it back, because I actually meant it. So yeah. Ooh, maybe that was a little mean. I'm sorry. And I think this is going to be the last question. Biggest takeaway from 2023 summer. And summer is officially over, so I'm actually happy that I got that question. That's actually crazy. My biggest takeaway, I would just say to do what makes you happy. If it looks like you partying, going to the club, then so be it. If it looks like you working towards your goals, working hard at this young age, then so be it. If it looks like you wanting to do absolutely nothing with your life, then so be it. Just be you. Be authentic to yourself. And once again, I don't know if I said this, but I'm going to say it. Be where your feet are. And what I mean by that is, don't look back. Don't look forward. Be present to where you are. And once you really fulfill that purpose of being present exactly where you are and loving that process, nobody do or say anything that will affect you, that will hurt you, that will do anything, because you are focused and you are planted where your feet are. Yeah, I would just say that that's the biggest takeaway from the summer. And who cares what people think? They're gonna talk regardless. They're gonna talk if you're still that old person. They're gonna talk if you right now this person. Everybody's still gonna talk in a certain way, but you just gotta learn to, okay, that's your opinion. Cool. This is me. This is who I am. Know who you are in yourself. And that's one big thing too. Learn who you are. Love yourself. Love yourself through this process. Like I said again, be great every single day. I feel like I want to go back on this question. What's your favorite thing to do on a relaxing day? I really love watching podcasts. How people go about problems in their lives, healthy ways. How they became the person that they are now within a year, 6 months, a week, 10 years, 5 years. You never know. But for me, that's probably one of my favorite things to do on a relaxing day too, because you can apply these things that people do in their life that helps them, and maybe it will help you. So you can start to grow. You can start to learn. You can start to shed yourself of things that you don't want to be like anymore. Once again, I just want to say change is good. Change is the greatest thing that you can do in your life. Change is beautiful. And it's not easy. Okay, well, my camera cut off again. So I'm just going to take it as a sign that I got what I needed. I gave answers that I needed to give. Yeah, thank you for tuning into my channel. And once again, I am Shay for those who do not know me. And thank you for watching. Until next time.